Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dig into one of the biggest retirement decisions people make, a choice that could have a massive and often totally hidden impact on your financial future.
So let me ask you something. What if I told you that one of the most common retirement moves, taking your Social Security benefits as soon as you possibly can, right at age 62, might just be the biggest financial mistake?
That, and here's the kicker, almost no one warns you about. Yeah, tons of people do it, but it comes with a hidden catch. A story most folks only figure out when it's way too late.
Okay, so let's talk about the 62-year-old mistake. For so many people, hitting age 62 feels like you've crossed the finish line, right? Freedom. You can finally get your hands on that money you've been paying in for decades. It feels like a total no-brainer. Less stress, no more waiting. It's just relief.
But what if that decision, the one that feels so good and so right in the moment, is actually a silent drain on your future wealth? Let's peel back the layers and see how this actually works.
You know, the best way to really get this is to see it in action. So let's tell a little story. Let's imagine two people who take two completely different paths. All right, so on one hand, we've got person A. They decide, yep, I'm taking my Social Security right when I can, at age 62. But then you have person B. They decide to play the long game. They're gonna wait and hold off on claiming until they hit 70.
And here's the thing, at first, person A feels like they've won the lottery. I mean, the checks are rolling in, they're looking at person B and thinking, I'm way ahead of you. They feel like a genius, but as you're about to see, that feeling, it doesn't last.
See, this isn't just about getting money sooner. The real game changer here is the math. It's all about how much you get every single month for the rest of your life. And this, my friends, is where the power of waiting really kicks in.
Okay, let's be super clear. When you claim at 62, your monthly check is smaller. It's reduced. And this is the part people miss. It's not a temporary hit. There's one word here that changes everything, and that word is permanent.
Permanently. I really want that to sink in. It's not like it goes back up later. Nope, your benefit is locked in at that lower rate for life. That's because you're claiming before your official full retirement age, which is when you get 100% of what you're owed.
And just look at this chart. The difference is, wow. By just waiting from 62 to 70, your monthly benefit can skyrocket by something like 70, even 80%. That is a massive difference in your income. It's the same money you paid in, but the payout is hugely different, all because you decided to wait.
Okay, but here's the real game changer in today's world. We're living longer, way longer. A lot of us are gonna see our 80s, even our 90s. And that simple fact, it changes everything about this decision.
So that choice you make way back at 62, it's not a short-term thing. Just look at this timeline. Its effects just keep growing, rippling across 20, 25, maybe even 30 years of your life. And that little gap between what person A gets and what person B gets, it just gets wider and wider every single year.
All right, let's fast forward. Picture them both at 85. Person A is really starting to feel the pinch. Their smaller check, the one that's permanently reduced, is struggling to keep up with inflation, with healthcare costs. Everything's more expensive. But person B, they've got a much bigger monthly income that gives them stability, options, and honestly, priceless peace of mind.
Okay, so if the math is this clear, why on earth do so many people still jump on it at 62? Well, the answer isn't in a spreadsheet. It's in our heads. It's all about psychology.
Think about it. There's this incredibly powerful emotional pull, right? We want the money now. We want that feeling of relief, that end to financial stress. We want the certainty of holding that check. Waiting just feels scary. It's uncomfortable.
But here's the tough truth. The smartest financial moves are often the ones that feel uncomfortable at first. The logical path, it demands a totally different mindset. It's about patience. It's about discipline. It's about thinking long-term and focusing on your future security instead of what feels good right this second.
And you know, this kind of logical thinking, it's not just about you. It has a huge impact on the people you love. That bigger benefit, it can mean way, way better financial support for a surviving spouse after you're gone. That's a really big deal.
Look, I'm not saying that claiming early is always the wrong move. Not at all. There are definitely some very real, very valid situations where it's absolutely the right call.
I mean, if you're dealing with serious health problems and frankly have a shorter life expectancy, or if you have zero other sources of income to bridge that gap until you're older, then yeah, claiming early can be a critical lifeline.
But, and this is the key thing I want you to take away, for the vast majority of people, it's not a real necessity. It's more of a habit, you know? It's a default choice that's just driven by this common belief that early is better. And that belief can be really costly.
So look, before you pull the trigger on a decision that's going to shape the next, 30 years of your life, The advice is super simple. Just pause, take a beat, think about the long haul, and actually make a conscious plan.
You got to remember, retirement isn't some sprint to a finish line. It's a long journey. It's a marathon. And the choices you're making today, well, they're going to determine just how smooth or how bumpy that road ahead is going to be.
And so that brings us to the final question. It's the one that only you can answer for yourself, for your future. How comfortable is your journey going to be?